Nightmare Residue, Episode 4, Teeth. Written, directed, and narrated by Patrick Logan. Voice modulation by 11 Labs.
Billy, what do you think you're gonna find in there anyway?
Billy shrugs, takes a swig from his can of beer.
Remember that one time we found the old-timey revolver, Troy? That shit was from the Civil War, man.
That wasn't from the Civil War, Billy. It wasn't even that old. Hell, you probably just bought it at a thrift store and threw it in the river yourself.
Fuck off. You know it was from the Civil War. That's why Lou wanted it so bad.
Troy laughs. It's a dry sound, turns into a cough halfway through. He spits, then drinks.
Lou wanted it so bad because you're a dumbass and got caught robbing that liquor store when you was 14. Ain't allowed no guns as a felon. Everyone knows that.
Troy shakes the can, listens for the slosh of liquid at the bottom, then drains the rest.
First of all, Troy, I was 16, and I didn't rob no goddamn store. I stole a fucking bottle of vodka. Big difference.
Well, you got caught. All that matters.
Troy turns his head and looks at me.
Hey, grab us a couple of beers from the cooler.
Why me?
'Cause you standing.
And y'all been sitting on your asses all day. Troy glances at Billy, who suddenly begins to furiously reel in his fishing line.
So, it's fucking Sunday, and it's fucking hot.
Both true. It is Sunday, our only day off from the factory. And it is hot out. Well, more than just hot. It's scorching. In the middle of the day in the summer, the Alabama sun is like that giant eye thing from Lord of the Rings. I ain't never seen it, but Billy was obsessed with it back in the day. I'm shirtless. We all are, and our bodies are covered in sweat. I didn't think I could sweat anymore, but seeing the sun now proves me wrong. A drop rolls into my eye and I squint, swipe it away.
Yo!
Troy crushes his beer can and tosses it aside.
Beers.
With a grunt, I shuffle back to Troy's old pickup and lower the tailgate. The cooler's much lighter than it was this morning, but I take my time bringing it back to the bridge. The air is heavy with humidity. It's like walking through the fucking rainforest. Probably, 'cause I ain't never been. Ain't never been out of this shitty podunk town. I grab a beer for myself and crack it open. Is there any sound more satisfying in the world than popping open a fresh beer? After draining about a third of it in one gulp, I press the cool can to my forehead. Frowning, Troy walks over and grabs a beer too.
Billy, you want one?
Yeah, give me one.
Billy's fishing line is taut, and when he pulls, the plastic rod bends into a capital C shape.
Damn thing is stuck on something.
Troy's frown turns into a smirk.
Told you it was gonna get stuck. Why you always want to fish here anyway? There ain't nothing in this shitty river but gators and old truck tires. And last time I checked, they ain't magnetic.
The Civil War.
Knock that shit off. It was just a shitty gun, not some Civil War weapon.
It was a Civil War gun, but whatever. That ain't why I'm fishing here. Last night I heard something big. Goddamn huge splash.
Billy arches his back, causing the pole to bend even more dramatically. It's almost a complete circle now.
The fuck is it stuck on?
What are you talking about, splash?
I let my eyes drift to the murky water. It's a pale brown, completely opaque. With every tug, the fishing line causes tiny ripples to spread across the surface.
You heard a splash?
Yep, big un.
I turn around, stare into the distance. Billy and Troy both live in the same trailer park, about a quarter mile from the river. No way you heard a splash from all the way in your trailer. No gators that big.
Maybe it wasn't no gator. Happened around 3 in the morning.
Bullshit.
Ain't bullshit. I heard it.
Oh.
Some bitch stuck good.
Ain't no fucking way. Your place is close to mine, and I didn't hear nothing.
Bro, I fucking heard it, all right?
Billy grunts with effort.
Ain't got no reason to lie.
Troy looks like he's going to challenge Billy further, but I discourage him by shaking my head. Let him have this one. What difference does it make? He says he heard a splash, which of course he couldn't have possibly, but what the fuck? Man's been going through some shit. What with his mother stuck in the hospital, tubes coming out of every hole.
The fuck is it stuck on?
He stands, wobbles a little, and then sets his feet and yanks the pole back.
You stuck on the bottom, dumbass.
It ain't stuck on the bottom. It's a fucking magnet.
I know it's a magnet, but it's stuck on the bottom.
Billy gives the pole 3 more tugs.
There's only rocks down there. Ain't nothing magnetic.
Some rocks are magnetic. No, they ain't.
I'm pretty sure there are magnetic rocks. Don't know if they have them types in this river, though. I let this go, too. It's too hot to argue.
You're gonna have to cut the line.
Troy sips his beer.
I'm not cutting the fucking line.
Billy pulls again.
Gonna have to.
I ain't.
You're gonna...
I ain't fucking cutting the line, all right? Damn magnet cost me near $100. I'm not losing it down there.
$100 for that piece of shit? You got ripped off, son.
Stop arguing.
I'm just saying, he's stuck on the bottom and he gonna need to cut it.
And I'm telling you, I ain't fucking cutting it.
Keep on pulling then, see what happens.
Despite Troy, Billy pulls the rod even harder. He's straining so much now that the muscles in his thin arms stand out, which is saying something because Billy is a string bean, 120 pounds soaking wet.
You're gonna break the pole.
I'm not.
Something in the pole cracks and Billy's eyes widen. The pole doesn't snap, but it no longer seems as elastic as it once was.
I told you.
Both of you, just stop, man. I rolled a now warming can across my forehead and temples. Stop fucking arguing, please. They don't listen. They never fucking listen.
Well, I ain't cutting the line, and it won't budge, so...
So you just gonna sit here all day?
For fuck's sake. I kick off my shoes and strip out of my jeans. Troy and Billy look at me, then at each other.
What the fuck you doing?
I'ma go get it, just like I got the cooler. I walk to the edge of the bridge, duck below one of the rusted metal guards, and peer down. It's only about a 5 or 6 foot drop to the water.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Probably not, I admit. But I'd rather take my chances with whatever's down there than stay here and listen to you 2 retards argue.
But there's gators in there.
I stare at the water. Troy's right, there are gators in this river. Big uns. Usually. But I ain't seen no signs of life today at all. It's too hot even for gators. I let my bare toes curl over the edge of the bridge.
Hey, don't...
Fuck it. I plug my nose and jump, land feet first in the murky water. I expect to feel a rush of coolness on my skin, sweet relief from the intense heat, but I don't. The water's piss warm. I kick to the surface, then swipe my medium-length dark hair away from my face. Troy and Billy are both standing on the edge of the bridge now, their hands on the guard, staring down at me in disbelief. See? No gators. Troy glances around nervously, drinks his beer.
Just hurry the fuck up, okay?
Yeah, just unstick it from the bottom or whatever, then get out.
Treading water, I search for Billy's fishing line. Just keep your eyes out for gators. I find the string, place my fingers on it, and follow it to the spot where it meets the water.
Don't be taking your sweet-ass time now.
Before I dive, I scan the shoreline. It is a little strange that I don't see no wildlife. When it's this hot out, and there's always turtles sunning themselves on the opposite bank. But not today. I grip the line a little more tightly and suck in a huge breath. The water is completely opaque, the color of one of Troy's epic beer shits, and I know once I dive down, I won't be able to see a single thing. I count 1, 2, and then, with my fingers still on the line, I dive. It's like swimming in a hot tub minus the floating band-aids and clumps of coiled pubic hair. Equally gross, though. Eyes squeezed closed, I kick hard, use the string as a guide. When I was a kid, I used to swim in this river all the time. It's been a long while since I've been in the water, but I don't remember it being this deep, not even close. It was over my head back then, 3, maybe 4 feet, but I'd been younger and I was a short kid, but still. I kick again and again. Jesus Christ, how can it be this deep? I kick a third time, this time with both feet. Hot water rushes by my face. Hotter water. Strange. Given how surprisingly deep the water is now, I expect it to be cooler down here. My lungs are screaming, but I convince myself to keep going until I reach the bottom. It takes me 4 more kicks before my outstretched hand finally collides with the magnet. I run my fingers along it, find the end, keep going. I expect to feel river stones, maybe a large rock or two that the magnet has wedged itself between. But I don't. Instead, I feel something smooth, real smooth. Confused and nearly completely out of air, I run my hand across the surface. It's like glass or ice. What the? I stop suddenly. With the blood rushing in my ears, I didn't notice the buzzing sound until now. It's like a beehive down here at the bottom of the river. Don't make no sense, but that's what it's like. I continue to search with my hand, trying to find the end, thinking that maybe Billy really did hit on something good this time. Something better than that shitty gun that he claims is from the Civil War. Can't find it. It just keeps going. Thinking that I'ma get lost and lose the magnet, I've since had to let go of the fishing wire. I reverse course, go back the way I came. The magnet's still there, and I spend precious seconds trying to pull it free. It's stuck. Not to the large, smooth object, whatever the fuck that is, but to some sort of canister jutting from the top. I grab the magnet with both hands, rear back. It doesn't budge an inch. I pull again, then give up. I need air. The surface seems far away, impossibly far. I swear it's twice as far on the way up as on the way down. My lungs aren't just screaming now, but burning as if they're on fire. That Lord of the Rings eye is now in the center of my chest. I need air. My hands finally break the surface and I give one last kick. I'm out. Mouth open wide, I suck in a huge breath and open my eyes only to be immediately blinded by the sun and close them again. Sweet, sweet relief as oxygen floods my system. Billy is shouting something, but I'm concentrating on trying to catch my breath and pay him no heed. A few seconds later, I hear Troy's voice loud and clear.
You find it? You find the magnet?
It's stuck, I manage in a small voice. I take another breath. It's stuck.
No shit, it's stuck.
It's hard to hear, Billy. That buzzing sound is back. The cicadas, or whatever the fuck is making that noise, didn't get the memo that it was gonna be a scorcher today. Hold on. I inhale a few more times and reach for the fishing wire again. Then I inflate my lungs as much as possible and dive once more. Now that I know how deep the river is, I waste no time, flutter kicking my legs to glide quickly through the warm water. I reach the bottom in just a few seconds and grasp the circular magnet, grip it in both hands. It's a strong magnet. When Billy found that gun, I had to twist it to get it off. That had been hard, but not this hard. But nothing I do now seems to get it to budge. I press my feet against the smooth object, preparing to use all my body weight for leverage. But the second my bare soles make contact, I don't just hear that buzzing, but I feel it too. It's like a mild electric shock, only it's not unpleasant. It actually feels good. What the hell is this thing? I'm distracted by the surge of pleasure and momentarily forget what I'm doing at the bottom of the river. It just feels so good. And then I hear her voice, Rachel's voice. How the fuck?
I miss you. I miss you.
My damn mind playing tricks on me. Or it's the beer. I open my mouth in a soft moan, then come back to reality when filthy water flows in. I blow out, press my lips together, and redouble my efforts to free the magnet. It don't move, but something does. The strange, smooth shape that the magnet is attached to bends a little. It's roughly the size of a large thermos like the one that Troy uses to keep his pasta warm until lunch. Instead of wasting more energy trying to free the magnet, I run my fingers across the base of the thermos, trying to find a seam or a crack or something. And I find just that, a seam at the bottom, round back. I slip my fingers inside, gently probe it. There's no threading, no clips that I can feel. My air is running out again, so I just start to pull. At first, like my attempts with the magnet, it doesn't seem to move. But then I pull harder still and I feel it lift from the much larger object. Encouraged, I heave again. More movement this time. Readjusting my grip, I try a third yank. Something fizzles and breaks. A surge of pure pleasure ripples from the soles of my feet through my entire body. It's, well, It's pretty close to coming. I even feel my cock harden in my underwear. What the hell?
I miss you.
Why the fuck did I hear Rachel? She's been gone for nearly 2 years now. Don't make no sense. The object finally breaks loose, and because that idiot Billy never stopped pulling on the rod, it immediately starts to slip from my hand, move toward the surface. I grab it, tuck it beneath my arm, and kick. It's awkward, what with the rolling waves of pleasure still coursing through my body, and with a massive erection to boot, but I make it. Flipping my hair back again, I breathe. Then, grinning, I lift the object into the air, turning to face Billy and Troy. Forget about Rachel's phantom voice. I focus and, for the first time, I see what I'm holding. I still don't have no idea what the fuck it is, but I see it. And it ain't no thermos, that's for sure. It's silver, smooth, and highly reflective, like a mirror. So much so that I need to squint to avoid being blinded. It looks a little like an impossibly smooth tank shell, maybe 18 inches in diameter, and roughly the same height. The top is rounded, the bottom, where I'd pulled it free, flat. Don't know what the fuck this is, and your magnet ain't coming off, but they're shouting at me. I've been so captivated by the thing that I hadn't noticed until now. Both Troy and Billy are waving their hands madly in the air, desperately pointing behind me. I don't look, not right away. I'm too busy staring at the thing in my hands. I see my reflection in it, warped as it may be on the curved top, but it's me all right. Not only that, but for just one heartbeat, I see her too. Rachel, behind me, smiling, her green eyes twinkling. What the? I blink and she's gone, but that feeling is still there. Not as powerful as when my feet touch the rest of it underwater, but with both palms pressed against the sides of the shape, I feel a constant pulsing wave of euphoria.
Hey, get the fuck out of there!
The urgency in Billy's tone finally convinces me to whip my head around. I'm out of breath again, but for an entirely different reason now. Oh my God. I'm face to face with the snout of an alligator, no more than 6 inches from it. Its scaled flesh is a dark green, almost black, and its yellow teeth jut from between crusted lips. I freeze. When I was a kid, I came close to a gator once too. Not this close and not one this big. Back then, I had punched the fucking thing in the nose, startling the reptile more than injuring it, and then swam as fast as I could in the opposite direction. Made it out without a scratch. This time, though, I do absolutely nothing. Even when the gator's lips part and it begins to spread its powerful jaws, I remain still. The beast's nostrils flare as I stare into its gaping mouth. So many teeth, each at least an inch long, all razor sharp. There are fewer animals on this earth more deadly than a gator. I know that staying limp or playing dead won't do nothing. Gators ain't like bears. They don't give a fuck. And yet this is exactly what I do. A horrible croak comes from deep within the animal's throat, and the stench of rotting meat slaps me in the face. Something splashes to my left, inches from my head, then to my right. Billy and Troy are throwing things. Rocks, most likely, but the gator doesn't seem to notice. It twists its head, preparing to bite, to kill. The weird thing is, I'm not scared. Not really. I should be, but I ain't. The damn thing I'm holding. It's still making me feel good. But when a rock hits the back of my neck, I cry out. The gator glides forward, stretches its jaws even wider. I'm about to die, I think. I'm about to get eaten by a fucking alligator. Rather than panic, I feel nothing. No fear, nothing. But I finally managed to do something. I'm reminded of that scene in Jaws where Brody shoves the scuba tank into the shark's mouth. Jaws is more my type of movie instead of that fantasy shit that Billy likes. Thinking of this, I move the cylinder still attached to the magnet and fishing line out in front of me. I have an inclination to push it inside the massive reptile's mouth, but I can't bring myself to do it. In the end, I don't have to. The gator does something weird. It growls again, then slowly closes its mouth. Its slit eyes focus on the object, and I think it's seeing its own reflection. The gator flicks its tail once and spins before disappearing beneath the murky surface. I have no fucking idea what just happened, but I ain't waiting around for the killing machine to change its mind.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of there!
I don't need to be told a third time. I kick furiously, keeping my head above water in case the gator returns. I make it to the bridge and hoist myself up with one hand.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck! That was so fucking close.
Shit. You're fucking crazy, man. You know that?
I wasn't always this way. Before Rachel died, I would have never done something like this. But now that she's gone, I don't give a fuck no more. I ignored them both, climbed the rest of the way up onto the bridge with just one hand. Once on dry land, I collapsed on my back, still clutching the silver bullet thing to my chest.
Dude.
Troy's shape blocks out the sun, and I'm grateful for no longer being blinded.
That was fucked up, man.
Real fucked up. That motherfucker was mean.
Why the hell did it just swim away like that? I ain't never seen nothing like it.
It saw itself, I think. It saw itself and got spooked. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it was scared of this thing. I pull it closer to my chest, feel more of that strange goodness wash over me.
What the fuck were you planning on doing? Fucking the gator to death?
Roy's eyes drift to my waist and I look down. I'm still rock hard. But rather than be embarrassed, I just shrug.
What is that thing?
Billy is either unaware of my erection or, like me, doesn't seem to care. He reaches for the magnet, but I clutch the object even more tightly. I don't know.
Looks like a fucking giant-ass dildo. Is that why you got a fucking boner?
Roy also reaches for it, but I turn my body completely so that neither can get at it. Magnet stuck.
Let me try.
My eyes blaze into him. It's stuck.
Why you being so fucking weird? Let me try.
No. Now Billy gets involved.
It's my fucking magnet. Give it to me.
No. I don't know why I'm acting like this. I don't give a fuck about no underwater thermos. But Rachel. This time, they both make a move for it. I try to roll onto my stomach, but my raging erection makes this impossible. Troy grabs one of my arms and pulls it down. Billy goes with the magnet still attached to the object, and together they manage to wrestle it free. I jump up, attempt to get it back, but Troy, being much bigger than me, blocks my path.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
As soon as I let go of the thing, I feel a heaviness behind my eyes. I also hear that buzzing again. I got the damn thing. For fuck's sake, I almost got eaten by a gator. It's mine.
Calm the fuck down.
I feel my dick go soft and then my head starts to pound. It's so painful that I begin to feel nauseous. I can't finish the sentence. Bile fills my mouth and I barely have a chance to turn my head before an incredible volume of vomit spews forth.
Sick!
Troy leaps back, barely avoiding the tremendous spray. I puke again and again, throwing up the beers and the sandwich I'd had for lunch. It's incredibly violent and I feel my eyes bulge with the force.
You swallow some of that water, man? That shit'll fuck you up. Give you Ebola or some shit.
Water did enter my mouth, but I don't think I swallowed any of it. This is different. Finally, the sensation passes and I manage to straighten. Troy has his head cocked to one side as he observes me with a look of disgust. But Billy's just staring at the shiny surface of the thing I'd pulled out of the water. His eyes go wide, but not with fear. Give it back, I say, but my words are weak now. I don't really want it back. I feel drained, spent, ill. Troy's eyes lift over my shoulder.
Oh, fuck. We got company.
I turn, see a police car slowly rolling toward us.
Hide that thing.
Billy doesn't do anything, just stares like he's retarded or something. The car stops and Officer Lou Daniels gets out. He's tall, lean, full head of blonde hair.
You guys find another gun?
Nah.
Troy slides in front of Billy. Officer Daniels eyes us all suspiciously, looking at my wet body, at the fishbowl lying on the ground.
What'd you find then?
Nothing.
Daniels notices the pool of vomit at my bare feet and grimaces.
How much y'all have to drink today?
Just a few pints.
Yeah, I kinda doubt that. Y'all ain't intending to drive, is you?
Officer Daniels steps around me and moves towards Billy, who has yet to say a single word. Daniels sees the magnet and that odd, shiny thing.
Let me see that.
Officer Daniels extends a hand.
No.
Billy wraps his arms more tightly around the thing, much like I'd done moments ago, and twists his body to protect it.
Billy, just let me take a look.
No.
Even I'm surprised by the force of the shout. Officer Daniels looks like he's going to try to force Billy to give it up, but at the last second, kind of like the gator, he changes his mind. He blinks twice, backs off.
Don't you guys even think of driving home. And if I hear that you're trying to hawk another gun at the pawn shop, I'm gonna know you lied to me.
We ain't.
Troy stands his ground. He got a temper, that one. Daniels knows it too. Ain't never stopped him before from fucking with us, but today it's too hot for fighting. The cop grumbles something and retreats to his car. He drives slowly past us, eyes trained on Billy. When he's gone, I say, "I'ma head home. Don't feel so good."
Don't look too good neither.
I cast one final glance at Billy. I think you should put that back. Billy licks his lips, sighs. I know what he's feeling now, and I know he ain't gonna put it back. Don't know if I could neither.
Go home. Get some rest.
I do. I walk home, my head still pounding, and climb into bed, not even bothering to wash the river water off my body. It's still early, not even 3 yet, but I'm exhausted from my near-death encounter, and whatever the fuck that thing was in the river. I shut my eyes. Sleep fails to come. I can't stop thinking about Rachel. Billy don't show up to work the next day. I'm worn out, just going through the motions. Almost injured myself trying to put a giant log in the shredder. At lunch, I asked Troy what happened on the bridge after I left.
Nothing. Had a few more beers and then went home.
And Billy? How was he? Troy looks off to one side.
Weird as fuck. Wouldn't even let me touch that thing you found.
Did you take him home?
Yeah, dropped him off. He was looking a little rough. Probably caught whatever you had and called in sick.
Except I don't think I caught anything in the river. I'm pretty sure it was that thing that made me puke. When I let it go, more like it. I asked the foreman if he's heard from Billy, if my friend called in sick, but he tells me that Billy didn't say nothing to him. After work, I convinced Troy, whose turn it was to drive today, to take us to Billy's trailer. We find his truck parked on the grass with a cooler from yesterday still in the back.
Where the fuck is he?
We walk up to the front door, knock, but there's no answer. I'ma check around back. Troy nods. As I move around to the side of the trailer, I find my mind drifting back to what happened yesterday. What the hell is that thing? Why did it make me feel so good? Why did the gator just swim away? Why the hell was I so sick afterward? All questions, no answers. I shake my head, which has only recently stopped pounding. The curtains over the window that looks into the kitchen have been pulled back and I peer inside. Dirty dishes are piled up in the sink, empty beer cans littering the counter. Nothing new here. Billy's a fucking slob. Where the hell are you, Billy? Still seeing nothing, I pull back, keep walking through the tall grass that hasn't been cut in months. There's one more window on this side of the trailer, outside the bedroom. The lights are off inside, and with the sun angled the way it is in the late afternoon, most of the interior is bathed in shadows. I squint, cup my hands against the thin pane. At first, I'm convinced that Billy's not in there. Unless... I slide a couple of inches to my left and squint even harder. What the hell? In the corner, I can make out a familiar, stick-thin outline. Billy's outline. I think he's naked. My eyes slowly start to adjust to the dim lighting inside the trailer. He is naked. Not only that, but he's covered in sweat. His dark hair's damp with it. In front of him is the object I'd pulled from the river. It's on the floor, bright, insanely reflective, even though there is so little light in the bedroom. I begin to hear that buzzing sound again. It's like a low-frequency hum. What the fuck? Billy is standing completely still, arms at his sides, palms up. I have to concentrate real hard to see his back rise and fall. What is he?
Yo,
I jump back, nearly knock Troy to the ground.
get off me.
Troy shoves me away.
Is Billy in there?
I swallow hard. There's a lump in my throat that refuses to go away. He's in there. I try to say more, tell Troy that it's best if we stay away, but I can't bring myself to do it. Can't bring myself to do much of anything. I'm too shell-shocked. Troy pushes by me, goes up to the window only to immediately pull back.
What the actual fuck?
He looks at me, his eyebrows covering his upper eyelids.
Is he naked in there?
I can only nod.
What kind of weird-ass gay shit are you guys into? You two gay now? After Rachel died?
The mention of my late wife's name rockets me back to reality in an angry, sizzling gust. One single look is enough to get Troy to shut his mouth.
I mean, what the fuck?
He turns around again, likely so that he doesn't have to face me anymore. Then he starts pounding on the window. Hard.
Billy, what the fuck are you doing?
I look over Troy's shoulder. Billy hasn't moved. Troy pounds again. I'm pretty sure he's on the verge of smashing the shitty single-pane window.
Billy! Oh, fuck it. I'm going in.
Troy takes 2 steps, then stops when he realizes that I'm not following him.
You coming or what?
I don't want to. I mean, I want to knock some sense into Billy. He didn't have much to begin with, but I'm not afraid to admit when I'm scared. That thing. When I'd touched it, the experience had been indescribable. Too good, if there was such a thing. And then there was Rachel. I think now that I'd gotten sick not because of anything that the object did to me, but because I had just been flushed back into the sewer that was reality. The shit. The reeking swamp, bills, work, life, my fucking wife's death. That thing just took it all away, showed me what life could be. Fucking hell. It sounds fucked up. It is fucked up, but I don't know how to better understand what the fuck I'd gone through. And that had only been for a few minutes, if that. Billy had been with this thing all fucking day and night. And I got the idea that he, like me, didn't get much sleep.
Yo.
I'm coming. Troy leads the way, throws open the front door to Billy's trailer. I reluctantly follow. Troy's upper lip curls in disgust at the smell of the place, the garbage everywhere. I find myself making the same face.
Billy.
We storm into the bedroom and I immediately recoil. It smells like shit. Actual shit. Human fucking feces.
Oh, fuck me.
Troy smells it too.
Billy, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking shitting here?
I watch as he strides forward, slows as he nears Billy.
Billy?
Troy reaches out, puts a hand on the man's shoulder. Billy tremors, starts to turn. His eyes are red, but his face is completely blank.
Snap the fuck out of it.
Troy's practically shouting in Billy's face, but he still don't react. Maybe... Troy looks down, sees something, and immediately jumps back.
What the fuck?
He rushes out of the room, and I see what he saw. Like when I came out of the river, Billy too is fully erect. Oh, fuck. It took Troy and Billy wrenching the object from my hands to bring me back, violently back to the present. Billy ain't touching the thing right now, but I know I got to do something. I rear back and slap him across the face. Billy staggers, blinks, comes to.
This is some fucking real-ass gay shit.
Troy comes back into the room. He has to have seen, or in the very least heard what had happened, but he passes no judgment. Troy throws a towel at his friend.
Put this the fuck on.
Billy moves slowly, but at least he's fucking moving. He wraps the towel around his waist. I see now that there's blood dripping from his nose and mouth. Fuck, man, I didn't mean to hit you that hard. I didn't know I had. I mean, I didn't hold back, but it was just a slap. Billy grunts as he strides forward. It's a struggle. Troy probably thinks it's because he's been standing in place for so long. I know better. It's because it's taken every ounce of effort to actually move away from the thing in the corner of the room.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
As he speaks, I lean forward, then pull back. What the fuck? I point at my upper teeth on the right-hand side. Did I do that? Billy tongues the grooves in his gums where 3 or 4 of his teeth once were.
Nah, it was that thing.
He hooks a trembling thumb over his shoulder.
That thing took him.
Then Billy turns his head and vomits. We can't stay in the bedroom. It's because of the shit smell. I'm pretty sure that ever since Billy got home after our fishing session yesterday on the bridge, he came back here and has stayed in the same place. The fact that he's now chugging a glass of water and scarfing down stale Oreos, the only food he got in this place, suggests as much. But it's also because neither he nor I want to be near that shiny object again.
Y'all gonna tell me what the fuck is going on?
I've seen Troy take on 3 fucking roided to the gills monsters in a bar fight, and I don't think I've ever seen him look this scared. Maybe scared ain't the right word, but he's something.
That
Billy gulps more water.
thing shows you stuff, man. Some good shit, bro. Good shit. I was with these girls, fucking 10s. I know. You think it's like a porn or some shit.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see Troy making that face again.
But it's like real.
What in the fuck have you been smoking?
Billy shakes his head.
Nah, it's not like that, man. It's real. Like I feel them.
Troy sneers at me.
Talk some sense into this asshole.
I don't say nothing. I can't, 'cause I felt it. Not that shit Billy was talking about. But I done feel good. So good.
But it just ain't like that. It showed me my ma.
Troy gets up from his seat.
This is fucked. You tell me that fucking silver dildo thing showed you some porn of your ma?
Fuck you, Troy. It ain't like that. You don't get it, man.
Now Troy points at me and then Billy.
Y'all been smoking.
He shakes his head.
Nah, y'all been shooting up some crazy shit. Them bath salts or whatever.
Troy, this shit is weird, I'm telling you. It ain't like no drug I ever did. And I done did a lot. This is...
What the fuck happened to your teeth, Billy? For real?
Billy looks down, brings the glass of tepid water to his lips but doesn't drink. He sets the filthy glass back down again.
I done told you. That thing took him.
Troy goes bug-eyed, shakes his head.
You trying to...
Just touch it.
Fuck no. Thing probably fucked you up with some Chernobyl-level radiation or some shit. Talking all crazy, porn, and your ma. Fucking hell. I don't know what you two is into, but I ain't down with it.
Troy storms off.
Troy.
He slams the door behind him, and for at least a minute, neither of us say anything. What do you mean when you said that thing took your teeth? Billy nods.
The first...
He stops, pushes his tongue into the corner of his mouth. I watch in disgust when he uses a filthy finger to dig around in there. There's an audible pop and Billy pulls out a tooth. No, not just a tooth. A fucking molar. I feel sick. Well, you gotta put that thing back, man.
No way.
Billy spits blood into his water glass.
No fucking way. Come with me. I need to show you something.
The worst part is that Billy doesn't seem to give a fuck that he's just lost another tooth. Billy. His eyes are wild and he holds the tooth up like some sort of nugget of gold. I get why Troy left. If I hadn't felt the thing's power for myself, I would have gotten up and hightailed it out there too. I squeeze my eyes closed. Think of that surge of pleasure.
You coming?
Okay. My eyes are so closed when I get up. Okay. We head back into Billy's foul-smelling room. Fuck, it stinks.
Watch this.
There's a gleam in Billy's eyes. I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Billy continues moving slowly toward the object, holding his molar out in front of him like some sort of offering. The buzzing, maybe it was here all along and I just didn't notice it none. But now it's loud. I feel my own teeth start to vibrate and I tense, thinking that day's gonna fall out like Billy's. It takes me a few seconds, but I eventually realize that the room is getting a little brighter, even though neither of us turned on the lights. Still stinks like shit, though. It's the object. It's starting to glow. Maybe Troy is right. Maybe it is radioactive. I done heard about some companies dumping their toxic shit into that river. Would explain why we's both sick, more than my other idea. Billy, I don't think you should get close to. The buzzing suddenly turns into a pop, like one of them electric bug zappers going off. Then Billy's tooth flies from his hand, rockets toward the thing in the corner. Now, I ain't no genius or nothing, but I know that this ain't normal. Teeth ain't magnetic. Maybe it's a filling, I think. But what happens next ain't got nothing to do with no filling.
Watch!
What the fuck else I'm gonna do? The thing glows brighter and brighter, and I'm forced to squint to continue to look at it. The tooth is just fucking stuck to the side, just like the magnet. But then it starts to glow yellow too. Then it just dissolves. In a second, it gone. Then the thing starts to fade, return to silver. Billy!
Shh! Watch!
Billy scampers forward, reaches out. He don't touch the thing, not quite, but comes close. Then his eyes roll back and he lets out a soft, long moan. I freeze. What the hell is happening? I watch in terror as Billy begins to shake. Billy? A smile appears on his lips. I don't know what to do. Can't do nothing. The buzzing gets louder, deafening. Then, all of a sudden, it just stops. Billy convulses just once. Then his eyes focus as he looks at me. Tears are rolling down his cheeks.
That was amazing. You have to try it. I seen my ma. Not like she'd be in the hospital, but normal like.
I take one step forward as if in a trance. Realizing what I'm doing, I stop. No, I shake my head. No, I'm not giving up my teeth to that thing. Billy grins. He looks hideous with his gums all fucked up like that.
You don't have to. I'll do it for you.
No, don't. But Billy is already reaching into his mouth. Before I can stop him, I hear a disgusting pop. He's pulled out another tooth.
Here.
He holds it out to me as blood drips down his chin. I turn my head to one side, look at the bloody tooth with just one eye.
Take it.
This is unbelievable.
If you don't take it, I'll use it.
As he says this, Billy starts to swing his hand toward the corner of the room. The tooth begins to wiggle between his fingers. I think about the sensation in the river. Can't stop thinking about it. Can't stop thinking about Rachel. For months after her accident, I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't get out of bed. Could barely eat. My entire world gone in 1 second. A flash, crumpling metal, then just the drip, drip, drip of blood from her head and onto the steering wheel. Cop said that the airbag didn't go off like it shoulda. Don't matter. All that mattered was that she gone. I didn't think that shit would ever get back close to normal, but it did. Slowly. I feel guilty, but I ain't thought about Rachel for at least a month now. Until yesterday in the river, and now she all I can think about. I'll do it. Billy no longer offers me the tooth. I reach out, snatch the tooth from him. He don't say nothing, just observes me with his bloody grin. The tooth is hard and slick. I try to hold on to it as it starts to vibrate and wiggle. It's no use. The pull is too strong. It flies from my hand, strikes the side of the object with an audible clink. Then, as before, it glows brighter and brighter as the tooth starts to break down. I expect to react the way that Billy had, moan and shake, but nothing happens. Billy, I don't think... I'm turning as I speak, but stop when I notice that Billy is no longer in the room with me. The room itself isn't there anymore. No garbage on the floor, no shit smell. I'm back in my apartment, seated in my favorite chair. No, this is wrong. I'm not here. I'm at Billy's. He's standing in front of me, missing his fucking teeth. There's someone sitting on my lap. A woman. A woman in jeans and a loose-fitting t-shirt that is falling off one shoulder. She lowers her head, and our eyes meet. Rachel! Oh my God, Rachel! Her bright green eyes narrow as she smiles at me.
I've missed you. I've missed you so much.
I'm crying now. We both are. I miss you so fucking much, Rach. You don't even know. Her smile grows. Rachel wipes tears from my cheeks, then leans down and kisses me. It feels amazing. But just like that, the scene evaporates and Billy's back. His mouth is open, revealing a near toothless smile. He's nodding his head like one of them bobbleheads people put on the dash of their trucks.
Isn't it awesome?
He turns his head to one side, spits blood on the floor.
I told you it was awesome.
It was awesome. Seeing Rachel again, that was incredible. And her lips, they felt so real. Only they weren't. My eyes dart to the thing. It ain't moving, ain't doing nothing no more. It's so still, I think I might have imagined the whole thing. A shudder runs through me. This object is fucked up. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. I learned that long ago. And I'm thinking that this thing, whatever the fuck it is and wherever the fuck it came from, wants more than just teeth in return for those visions, dreams, memories, whatever they are. I feel my cheeks fall. No, I shake my head. No, it's not real. It has to go back. I point a finger at the thing in the corner. It has to go back. Billy snarls, spits more blood.
It's never going back.
It'll kill you, Billy. That's not right, not normal. It has to.
No.
I stagger backward, remain just out of range of Billy's now outstretched hands. It's not right. I turn and run. Not from Billy, from that thing. One tooth and I got to see Rachel, kiss her even. How many teeth to hold her? Fuck her. What will I have to give to get her to stay? These are some fucked up thoughts, but I can't help them. Things used to be so good. Me and Rach talking about having kids, saving up for a house of our own. Now all I do is sit on the bridge during my one day off and argue with Billy and Troy. Life is shit without Rachel. Shit like the steaming piles back in Billy's bedroom. Billy's haunting words chase me out of his reeking trailer.
It's never going back. You hear me? It's never going back.
I can't sleep. Can't stop thinking about what happened. Rachel, she wasn't there. Not really. I know this, but it don't change much. It felt so real, her lips on mine. Her voice was the same, her eyes too. Even the way she used to wear them shirts. I miss her so fucking much. I'm waiting outside my apartment for Troy to pick me up. I've been here for an hour before he's supposed to arrive, but he don't show. I wait an extra 10 minutes before calling him. No answer. I want to check up my friend, but if I do, I'll be late for work. As it is, I barely clock in on time. I'm feeling sick again. Not sure if it's from the lack of sleep over the past 2 nights or from that thing. Normally, my foreman is a dick, but I guess he notices that I look terrible because when I tell him I'm not feeling well, he lets me go home. Not before asking me if I know where Billy and Troy are, though. When I say I don't, he goes back to being a dick. Says that if Billy ain't in tomorrow, he shouldn't bother coming no more. Despite how shitty I feel and how much I want to, I don't go home to my bed. Instead, I return to Billy's trailer. The closer I get, the more the feeling of dread in the pit of my stomach grows. Thing is, I can't get that close at all. The place is swarming with cops, lights flashing. There's an ambulance too, even a goddamn fire truck. I park where I can and jump out. Hey, what's going on? A cop tells me to get back, that this is a crime scene, that I can't be here. This is my buddy's house, man. Tell me what's going on. The cop shakes his head. Frowning, I scan the cops, see Officer Lou Daniels among them. He notices me too and hurries over. He's white as a sheet, which is saying something for someone who spends his days in his car with the window down, slow driving around town. What happened? Where's Billy?
I'm sorry, but you don't want to see what's in there.
To hell I don't. Daniels tries to grab me, hold me back, but I break free, run to the trailer.
Hey, Hey!
I weave through the confused cops. There are too many of them to make it to the front door, so I dip around the side. Daniels was right. I didn't want to see this. Oh, fuck. If only I'd listened. Billy is lying on the floor in the center of his room. What's left of him, anyway. My friend's face has been reduced to a bloody pulp. Bone, blood, something that looks like a clear jelly surrounds his body. There are no recognizable features left. I feel my stomach lurch as Daniels appears at my side, out of breath.
I'm sorry.
So am I. Who did this?
Don't know. Probably a robbery gone wrong.
This makes no sense, but I don't have the energy to correct the cop. Billy didn't have nothing to steal. He lives in a shitty trailer, drives a rusted '07 pickup truck. But I peer into the room, making every effort not to look at Billy's corpse. My friend didn't have nothing to steal. Before yesterday. I don't see it. The thing, that bullet cylinder thing, isn't in the corner of the room where it had been yesterday. I gotta go.
Wait a sec. You got any idea what happened to his teeth?
My heart skips a beat. I see Billy's face, his bloody smile. His teeth?
Uh-huh. Dog said he ain't got no teeth and he can't find them nowhere.
I got no idea. Daniels looks at me like he knows I'm lying. I gotta go.
I'm gonna need to talk to you down at the station. Just ask you a few questions.
I'm already on the run, and Officer Lou Daniels doesn't give chase. I consider going to my car, but don't bother. Troy lives in the same trailer park as Billy, and I need to get to him before the cops do. Shit. The door to Troy's trailer is wide open, and I enter without knocking. Troy? Troy, buddy, you in here? He isn't, but he was here. There's blood in the bathroom sink, globs of God only knows what covering the worn fixtures. I don't see no teeth, though. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. A new idea starts to form in my mind now, a terrible one. I search the rest of the trailer, but find no signs of Troy. I do, however, see small smears of blood on the floor, as if Troy had stepped in some and was now making a trail with his heels. I follow it outside, down the steps. There are a few more stains here on the grass, which seem to lead toward a large, overgrown field that marks the trailer park's boundary. There it disappears. The grass is waist high. If there is blood, I don't see it. But that buzzing, it's back. I take 2 small steps and it seems to grow louder. Loud enough to rattle my fillings, make my eyes water. Nose run. Even my asshole is puckering. I follow the sound, heading whatever way makes my head hurt worse. It's almost unbearable now, and I'm adding to it by making this low moaning sound that comes from deep inside my chest. And then I see him, Troy. Like Billy last night, he's naked too, sitting cross-legged in the grass, the mirror-like object in front of him. Troy's rocking ever so slightly, saying something too, but what I can hear isn't in a language I understand. Troy? Troy, what did you do? A shudder runs through my friend and he slowly turns his head, painfully slowly. I stumble, nearly fall. Troy's eyes and nose are bleeding.
You guys was right. I should have never doubted y'all. It was incredible. This thing, man, it can make all your dreams come true.
His teeth are gone. Just fucking gone. Blood coats his lips and tongue like drunken clown makeup. What did you do? I can barely look at him. He's hideous.
He wouldn't give it up, man. Like I asked him for it, but Billy wouldn't hand it over. I had to have it.
Oh, fuck. I feel sick again, and I'm forced to swallow several times to prevent my stomach from ridding itself of its contents. It's that thing, Troy. It's making you do this. I told you guys. My words are airy, like a breathless whisper. I told you guys to put it back. Troy grins a toothless grin.
You seen what it can do. You know it can never go back. I can never go back. Not the way things used to be. Our shitty fucking lives. This will make it all better. Don't you want that? Don't you want it to be like before? Like before Rachel's accident?
Of course I fucking want that. That's all I ever wanted, man. But this isn't the way.
Why the fuck not? Why can't we ever have good things? Win the fucking lottery, that kind of shit.
This ain't the fucking lottery.
Nah, you're right. It's better.
Troy, listen to me. I know what made you do things. It's not your fault. And that stuff it showed you ain't real. But you have to give it to me. Please. The smile vanishes and Troy's eyes go dark.
It's mine.
Look at you, man. I'm desperate now. It took your fucking teeth, man. What's gonna happen when you ain't got none left? What, you gonna give it your arm? A fucking leg?
I'll give it whatever it wants.
I want to hit him. But Troy ain't like Billy. He ain't just gonna shake that off. Even if he is all fucked up. We have to put it back. It's not right. Troy starts to stand, and I know that if I let him get up, it'll be over. He's bigger and stronger than me. If Troy gets his hands on me, he gonna do the same thing he did to Billy. God damn it, Billy. I should have taken it from you yesterday, man. I'm sorry. Ain't got no time for feeling bad for myself now, though. I won't lose another friend to this thing. I stride forward, aim a kick at his chest. At the last moment, Troy leans back, tries to get out of the way. Instead of hitting him in the bare chest, my heel strikes him in the throat. Troy groans and falls on his ass, clutching his injured neck. I don't hesitate. I pick up the object. The second I make contact with that smooth, reflective surface, everything changes. My headache instantly vanishes, and that feeling, oh my God, it feels so good. I feel my vision start to swirl. Know that she'll be here soon. Rachel. Oh, Rachel. I shake my head, force this away. I'm barely aware that Troy, still gasping for air, is starting to crawl his way through the high grass toward me. Run, my mind screams. Run. I don't move. It just feels so fucking good. Like every pleasure center in my brain is going off at once. An explosion of pure delight. When I was younger, we used to go to raves together. Me, Troy, and Billy. The latter convinced me to try ecstasy. I didn't want to, but Troy was game, and they peer pressured me into doing it. I only did it once because I knew that if I did it a second time, I would never stop. And this thing, this is even better. 10 times better. 100. 1,000,000.
Please.
Troy croaks, blood pouring from every orifice now, spilling out of his mouth like a crimson waterfall, leaking from his eyes like tears of blood. A trail of it extends from his bare ass, staining the grass a dark red.
Please, I need it. I need it.
No, you don't. I run. When I finally make it to the bridge, I've already lost 3 teeth, 2 molars and 1 in the front. The first started wiggling, and I absently probed it with my tongue. It popped free with a gush of blood, and I spat it without slowing. There was no pain. If anything, this too somehow felt good. But I didn't let the thing have them. I threw them as far as I fucking could. My nose is bleeding too. Just a little trickle, but the flow becomes steadier with every passing moment. I stare down into the murky water, hold my breath. When I hear police sirens, I know it's now or never. I jump, landing feet first in the warm water. It's hard to swim holding the object with one hand, but I manage. I was always a good swimmer. Still, I don't think I'll be able to find the place where I got this thing yesterday. A week ago, a fucking month, I don't know. But it doesn't prove to be that hard after all. All I have to do is follow the buzzing. I spit blood, take a breath, then dive. The droning is intense now, like a snare drum between my temples. It scrambles my thoughts. I graze the top of the smooth object with my free hand, and a jolt of pleasure so intense comes over me that I instantly ejaculate, even though I'm not even hard. This is, without doubt, the best feeling I've ever experienced. Perhaps the best anyone has felt. So overwhelmed am I by this ecstasy, that I not only forget where I am, but also what I'm doing. I breathe, inhale water, and cough violently. I'm back. Have to force my body not to inhale again. Just let the contaminated water sit in the bottom of my lungs. Pawing blindly, I find the spot where I remove the capsule. It's a small circular indentation in the otherwise perfect surface. Moving quickly, more scared that I'll be lost in pleasure than of drowning, I put the object in the groove, shove it hard, lock it in place. It clicks, and the water around me instantly starts to froth and bubble. A blast of heat strikes me in the face. I kick, propel myself backward. The entire world seems to be shaking now. The buzzing has been replaced by a deep, resonating rumble. The further I get, the worse my headache becomes. Jesus, it hurts. But I keep going, thinking of how Billy looked in his trailer last night, grinning like a madman with blood smeared on his face and nothing but gums left in his head. I have no way of knowing how big the thing is, so I just keep on swimming until I run out of air. Sputtering, I breach the surface. Everything has changed. The sky has darkened. Clouds that weren't there before are now thick and heavy above. And that shaking. I find myself beneath the bridge, and the entire steel structure is creaking and groaning as it sways with the mini earthquake. And then there's the river. It's bubbling like a hot spring. A strange glow is rising to the surface, and the closer it gets, the more intense the boiling becomes. The object that I'd once held in my arms, I want it back, I need it, give it to me, please, emerges first. It's no longer silver, but glowing an incendiary red. The rest comes next. Smooth, highly reflective, and flat and circular like a dinner plate. Only it's as large as a 10-person dinner table. What the... fuck? Another tooth comes out before I can complete the curse. It skips across the water, snaps up against the glowing object, starts to dissolve. Water beads and slides off the mirror-like surface as it fully emerges from the river. It hovers. I can see the bottom now. Expect to recognize jets or propellers or fucking rockets, but there's nothing. Still, it manages to ascend. I stare in a mixture of awe and horror, reverence and disgust. It continues to rise. What the fuck is it? A sound to my left, a small splash, pulls my attention away. It's the same gator. I don't know how I know this. The reptile had no distinguishable scars, and this river is usually teeming with them, but I do. It's the exact same alligator. It opens its mouth. No panic in me, just an odd calmness. I look back to the ship as it reaches a height of 8 or 10 feet above the now calm water. The buzzing sound begins to fade, just enough so that I can hear another sound. The unmistakable click of the gator's jaws snapping down on my neck. I smile. There is no pain, just more of those endless waves of pure, unadulterated pleasure.
I've missed you. I've missed you so much.
Nightmare Residue. Written, directed, and narrated by Patrick Logan. If you've enjoyed this podcast and would like to support the show, please consider heading over to Amazon and picking up your ebook version of Nightmare Residue now.